Well, good afternoon for you, Kristy. Good morning for me. It's really good to be with you and to see you again after having kind of walked with you for a number of months through whole life/workplace discipleship, which we refer to as WDI. I'm so delighted to have the opportunity to ask you a few questions and for you to offer people a sense of what it is that you experienced through WDI. So thank you. And I want to first start by asking if you would just share a little bit about your overseas journey in life and a little bit of who you are.
Well, I've lived abroad quite a number of years, I'd say around 20 years, both in France and in China. And so my career in those places has ranged from university lecturer to working for an international organization, working for, and I did have a stint back in the US for a couple of years working for the US government. So public sector mainly. So yeah, that's my background, a little bit of my background.
Cool, thank you. It's helpful. So as you prepared to go into WDI, how did you view WDI as you began your journey in it? How did you think of it when you first heard of it?
By the time that I knew about WDI, I think it started when the founders came to our church and had a focus group, which I was invited to attend. And I was really excited about what they were talking about because workplace ministry was very important to me, but I felt like I wasn't really doing it right, or I wasn't really seeing any fruit from it. So it was absolutely at the right time for me, and it was very important for me to be involved. Yeah.
I see. So you heard about it. What did your actual experience? How did that compare with your initial expectations?
Well, I was not at all disappointed in my actual experience. It far exceeded what I had imagined. I think we'll probably get into some of those details in a few minutes, but yeah, it was actually quite a life-changing experience for me.
Okay, well, we're looking forward to hearing more about that. What was most impactful about WDI?
Well, I think the coming together in the very small, in the three-person groups was something that I have never done in a church setting. I attended church regularly on Sunday. I attended all of the extra things, the studies and the conferences and all of this, but never in such an intimate, small group setting. And never focused on the workplace. So this really allowed me to become very intentional and to share some really deep experiences that don't seem to have a place in other parts of church life.
What were some of the ways you saw the Lord move in and through some of these people?
We saw people come to the Lord in just most miraculous ways, and God moving very strongly particularly in those cases were in the arts field, which often we can think of as very closed. So that was exciting. Other than that, not everybody, had people coming to the Lord, but we had people being able to forgive for the first time, being able to love certain other people, and that's in itself a miracle. So,
what would you say to someone considering WDI?
I would say that, yeah, prayerfully consider it, and that God definitely may be leading you to do this. I think that anybody and everybody could benefit from it, because for me it was really a life-changing, it's more like a lifestyle change that I want to incorporate into my life, because you're really connecting with people on a deeper level. And I felt like God was showing me a glimpse of this abundant life that I had read so much about, but had not always experienced so much of. And I really experienced that through through this experience of the WDI.
Is there a story that would be an example of some of the impact?
Yeah, I think I could share one of the ladies who had worked in the pharmaceutical industry, and there were big issues of integrity and kind of honesty going on. And she was actually fired from her position because of her stance that just being, you know, being fully accountable, and not allowing certain things to happen in her job. So she was fired for that, and she really had held on for years to some animosity towards that person in her workplace. And as we continued to pray about that specific thing, about her being able to forgive, and we saw a breakthrough that, I mean, it may not have been complete, but we saw that really there was a change going on. She felt that she was letting go of a lot of things that she held against that person, that probably would have gotten in the way of what God wanted to do through her. So that was pretty amazing, because forgiveness is hard.
I really appreciate you taking the time to share with me and with others, Kristy. So thank you so much. Thank you for journeying with us and for sharing.
Thank you, Jim.